This is Right Side Trader. Today is August 28th, 2026, and this is going to be a quick look at the market. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. All right, this is going to be one for the playbook and all. I didn't trade it. I'm actually in and out of the market before a lot of this stuff happens at times. I was like getting out and riding my bike and doing other things other than sitting in front of the computer all day long. So, but I come back and take a look and see what happened. And what I saw today was kind of like one of those stars align type trades and all that, happen. Maybe next time, or maybe some other time, I'll catch it, but it's not that critical. I made my trade this morning. I'm happy with what I did, and things are all good. But I like to share some of this stuff when I see it, and that's what I try to get people just see the market, sit back and just see the market, see what's happening, and then come up with the right strategy to actually trade what you see. All right, what we're looking at? We're looking at an hour chart, 15-minute chart, 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart is kind of like my active chart. The other charts are kind of like giving me an idea of what's actually really happening in the market, the whole overall direction. This is for day traders, swing traders, or whatever. This is not for you long-term investors and all. So what I'm looking at here, I'm going to show you on the big picture first of all. What I'm looking at is, let me get my pen up. I don't have my pen up. Let me bring my pen up. And I'm going to try to keep this short. I will keep this short because it's real quick and real simple and all what was happening, what I see and all, and what's happening right now. First of all, when the market is going up and all, let's go out to a day chart on this 1-hour chart. I always try to like getting people to start look at the big picture, see the big picture, see the big picture and all, and what's happening. And let me take some of this other stuff off, almost that other crap off. Again, I want to hide that. I want to get rid of the pivots on this one, hide that, and I want to actually get rid of my little custom thing. If I can get on it, this is my custom pivots, and hide that. And there. What we have is what we're looking at right now. I have a target where I think the market is a high point in the market since we've sold off and the market came down and actually going back up. So I usually say, okay, I can see, okay, first of all, on the big picture, I can see the market was consolidating a little bit down here and start doing this little thing here and all down here. Then we actually got it yesterday. It looked like the market was ready to go up. And I played it. Again, I'm always looking for that up trade. Finally looking for that up trade and stuff because I can see that we was getting higher lows, and we finally got a higher high yesterday. So I was expecting what happened yesterday. The question was it going to continue today? And also, I did play a little quick. And what happened today is that really you got to remember the market opened here, it gapped up to here, and it went higher. Then it's come back down. So again, and the other thing that happened here, we had what I call we still had a little bit of a gap here in the market that wasn't closed quite yet. And I should zoom in. Let me see if I can zoom in on that a little bit more. Because I try to get people to look at the big picture. Look at the big picture first of all. And the gap that we had was this right here. And were we going to close that gap or kind of try to fill those orders in that gap? And it came up and passed that and then ended up coming back down. Because, again, you got to remember this candle open here, actually went higher like I was trying to show earlier, and now it's all the way back down here. So it filled the gap, it closed some of those orders, but we still got a little gap up there. So again, this market the next day it could go higher, whatever. Doesn't really matter too much. Plus intraday traders and all. But for you long-term trader, you might have indicators and things that show you, okay, is it really ready to go up right now or not? Again, it's still, I won't say, but it's still based on your trading plan and your trading strategy, what you think is going to happen here. But I'm still seeing this thing being still a little bit bearish. We couldn't break the top. We got up into the sell area and all. We couldn't break my high that I think the market needs to get across before it's going to really start pushing, trying to break all-time highs and all. So that's where we're at here on the big picture. So on the big picture, I'm seeing the market going up, but can it break the high? So now let's go down to our intraday, we can go down to our 15-minute chart and all, because we can see we was kind of like, okay, can it go higher? Can it go higher? Can it go higher? And it did right quick in the morning. That was my trade, pretty much, and all. But now let's look and see what happened after that. Let's go in here on this 15-minute chart. I try to get people to 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart and all. We're looking, this kind of gives you, for me, it gives me an overall indication of what the market is actually really doing and all. And what we can see, we started out green. There was a quick something in the green. I have my pivots on here. This is my SVE pivots. The pivot point is way down here. So again, I'm one of these ones who, based on my trading plans and my trading strategies, I see green. I kind of expect the market to go up. So again, I'm watching my lower time frames to try to find me an up trade, and in that first 15 minutes usually, and that's all it is, that first 15 minutes. Because again, in this 15-minute candle, we have 1 to 15 minutes, candles within that candle and all. And just like down in our 5-minute candle, we got 1 to 5-minute candles in that candle. So within that 15 minutes and all, I was able to squeeze a quick little up trade in that, and that's where I was in and out of the market at within the first 15 minutes of the market. I like waiting 5 minutes, then after that let volatility settle down a little bit, and then look to play it to the upside if I see anything, if I see a setup on my lower time frames and all. So based on that, there was the play. But then the next best play that I used to talk about all the time was this right here. It came down to pivot. Let me erase everything. It came down to pivot, so above pivot, stay above pivot. So as soon as I see something happening there, I'm looking to take a trade also back to the upside. Boom. And that was a good trade and stuff. So you're done. I'm done. The first trade just about got me to my resistance 1 level and my custom pivot when they're lining up right together. So that was a quick, good little trade, just out of this, and not going too much higher. No, I'm done and all. Then the next best play was waiting for, you could have played it to the downside, but I don't play it to the downside. I kind of like to sit on my hands and I wait. I see what's happening and all. And I wait till it gets to another point where I kind of expect the market to make a reversal. And that was that. Now, the one for the playbook, though, was a down trade today. The down trade that I actually saw when I got back in front of the computer was this, when the market came up here in this little area, this stuff that was happening. The market came up, it went up a little bit higher, and then got rejected. That's your signal, okay, this thing may be ready to go down. You're watching it. Let's zoom in over here on our 5-minute chart now. Let's zoom over here on our 5-minute chart. And what do we see? We see this is the rejection point, because this is the high point right here. And that little candle there. And then what we end up getting is what candle pattern is that, guys? That's an evening star. That evening star, you did not get confirmation right away. You ended up getting a morning star right afterwards and all. So again, it has you kind of confused, but you're looking at your indicators. You're looking at where you're at in the market. You're at a resistance 2 point. And then what you notice on that morning star going back up, it didn't break the top. It didn't break our resistance 2. So this is your kind of like, for me, I'm an aggressive trader. If I was trading this, that's kind of like my confirmation. Okay, I can take this thing to the downside. My stop if I get above this point right here, and if I get above that point and get a close above that point, the trade is done. But what happened was we ended up getting a bullish. I'm always bullish. A bearish engulfing with follow through. And we didn't see that follow through until this candle right here actually happened and all. And based on your other indicators, you might say, oh my God, the stars are aligning. I got two reversal patterns at the top and a resistance point at the top, and I have follow through. And so that gives me throw the mother load in. Nah, don't throw the mother load in. Just throw your normal position size in and just try to hold on to it as long as you can. You can look at this thing coming back down to your first target, which would be a resistance 1 level, which may end up acting as support, but it breaks through that with a large candle here. And then your next target, okay, is it going to slow down at previous day high? That's what this blue line is right here. And it doesn't do that. It breaks there, and then it does act like it wanted to turn around, but it didn't turn around. You ended up getting a close still below it with a lot of wick. Then your next candle was a mighty push down through your market open line, which is this line right here. And then at that point, you get almost back down to what I call my L1 level and back down close to pivot, which is this line right here. And that's the point where I'm done. I made the money that I wanted to make on my one contract, and I'm good and stuff. So that was the play. The real setup that we really saw here is a double top, number one, bearish pattern to the downside, evening star, with no confirmation the first time, but then the second time it actually happened, you didn't get a higher high, you got a lower high. Then after that, you got a bearish engulfing right here and follow through. So that was the setup. Even if you got into it late, you got below your moving average, whatever moving averages you happen to use. And then if you got in it really late with your crossover, which I don't play, again, that moving averages are lagging indicators. They're good for giving you what's the overall direction, but I try to get people to where they can see that just by just looking at the candles and do not even put moving averages on their chart until later. Moving averages are more so for my longer term trades and something to help me maybe stay in my trades a little bit longer. That's about it, which I don't do that much often anyway. So, but that was pretty much it. Again, once you saw that, that was your setup to enter the trade. Your targets, whatever your targets may be, because again, if you got into it late, maybe you were just going to open line. Maybe you was going back down to pivot line. But again, that's all still based on your trading plan and your trading strategy or whatever your indicators are telling you when it's time to get out of your trade. But the entry was an ideal entry today from the top side to play it to the short side. And that's it. That's pretty much all I really want to share. I just want to share that. Just want to save, and wanted to put in the playbook. I hope this is helpful for some. It was a pretty good day. That was a pretty good setup. And that's it. That's all I have for you guys. Have a good one. Talk to you later. Right Side Trader here. Bye.